is going on, Taurus gang? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazzy, your reader for today. This is going to be your next 72. So, remember these readings are general in nature, so if they don't resonate, that is totally, completely fine. This just may not be your message this time around. However, remember, energy is fluid, time is fluid, so that means that it is interchangeable. If stuff hasn't happened yet, it just may not be on that timeline yet, or this could have already taken place. It just depends on where you're at on your journey. So for those of you that are interested in booking a private consultation, checking out your other elements playlists, donating to the channel, checking out my Etsy wish list, all that information can and will be always found in the description box of every single one of my videos. So let's get into this, shall we, for the next 72. Let's see, general, what's going on in general Spirit for Taurus next 72, please. What do they need to know? What do they need to be made aware of? So we have fear, okay? So for some of you, there may be, you got to understand that if there's things that's scaring you, it's going to be, and we have will at the bottom. So I feel like there's maybe some fears that are coming up for some of you right now. I can't really say it, obviously, what that's about. You'll know if that applies. But for some of you, this is like something that maybe is new, something that maybe you're wanting to start, wanting to do, but there's a sense of fear around it. And I feel like Spirit is really encouraging you to really step into your confidence, right? Because your willpower stems from your center of confidence, which is your solar plexus chakra. So that is your center of confidence. And I feel like some of you are being asked this, where your willpower lies, that the drive, the desire, that determination to push through our challenges, to push past anything that comes up that makes us fearful about what may happen afterwards, right? After we make a decision. So I feel like some of you, this is about, you have the wisdom, you know what to do here, but for some of you, you're maybe just not trusting it, okay? So, I feel like for some of you too, Spirit is reminding you that, your fears, they have their role, but it's a matter of how you respond to them. Do you let them rule and make decisions for you, or do you let it show you where you may be holding yourself back in some type of way, where you may be resisting change that may be inevitable, that may be a long time coming? Fear is helpful if it teaches you why it's there, if you use it for that reason. But if you use fear to hold you back, to keep you from doing something that you should do or could do or should have done already, that's where, it can be a problem. So I feel like for some of you in the next 72, it's going to be important for you to identify how fear is playing into your experience right now. Okay, Spirit, what else? Fear, what's general, imagination. So I feel like for some of you, this is about maybe an idea, something that you're wanting to take action on, okay? You'll be fulfilled in doing it, though. Some of you, you know what to do. You have all the wisdom and the knowledge to do this, but some of you are letting your fear steer the boat here, steer the ship, so to speak. For some of you, this definitely has to do with an idea that you have, that you're wanting to take action on, something that you're, but trying to slow down the downloads. Some of you, this has to do with an idea, right? Something that you're fully capable of doing, because you have the wisdom, you have the determination, it could happen. But for some of you, it's just outside of your comfort zone. Maybe it's asking you to quit a job that you've had for maybe years, that you've grown some type of comfortability with, or some sense of complacency with, where that's where I'm secure here, right? This is where I make my money. For some of you, though, that you could probably do better or be happier by working for yourself or doing something different, stepping outside your comfort zone in that way. Some of you, it's just a matter of you trusting yourself enough, trusting Spirit, the divine God, or whatever you refer to, the Most High Creator, as stepping into that and trusting that you'll be provided for, trusting that you'll receive the opportunities and the money will come, and all the, that everything will work out exactly as it's supposed to on your behalf, in your favor. Now, for others of you, this could definitely be talking about your fear is an illusion. For some of you, what this imagination is talking about is that it's your own thinking. It's your own thoughts, maybe thoughts of the past, experiences from the past, that's scaring you and bringing up fear that really shouldn't even be there. Okay, so like I said, for some of you, it's a matter of identifying where that applies to you, if that applies. Okay, so let's see what's potentially challenging. And I say potentially with my questions because your free will, right? Again, the will. Okay, you always have a choice in how you respond to things and what you do, and doing nothing at all is a decision as well. So you always have a choice in how you respond to things. Tarot is not the end all be all. It's just simply made and, to me, designed as a guidepost, right? You can, if you want to claim the readings, by all means claim it, and as the opportunities present themselves that align, take them on. you know, but it's again about how you respond to the things as they come up. So that's going to be up to you. So Spirit, what is potentially challenging Taurus in the next 72? I feel like some of you, you know, if this has to do with like an idea that you have, some type of, you know, vision that you have for your life that you maybe really, really want. I feel like some of you, it's a matter of you just deciding to do it because you're going to be fulfilled. You're going to be way happier in doing this. But I feel like some of you are letting fear make decisions for you right now. So let's see what's challenging. It's potentially challenging Taurus the next 72. Freedom. I told you. Some of y'all need to leave something. You need to leave something, but you're scared. Y'all are scared. You're going to be happy in doing it though. Okay. Blessings. You got blessings here at the bottom, along with fulfillment at the bottom of this deck. Okay. So I feel like for some of you, it's like, you know that you'll be happier doing this. I feel like some of you, there's a lot of fulfillment and a lot of happiness that's waiting on the other side of whatever this fear is. Some of you, you're feeling challenged with knowing you need to free yourself, knowing you need to get out of a situation, whether it's a job, an environment, a relationship, whatever that is for you. Some of you know what this is. Some of you, this is simply freeing your mind of negative thoughts, of old experiences that have already passed and played their part, right? But we're still, for some reason, holding on to them. Okay? I feel like some of you, it's a matter of, instead of holding on to, you know, what happened and how it could maybe repeat itself in the future, use your willpower and that free will to take the wisdom that it taught you and make your decisions from that place of knowing that I don't have to let this happen again because I know what the fuck it taught me the first time. Therefore, I can trust myself to where I know that shit won't happen again. Why? Because when you learn the lesson, you don't have to repeat the course. That's the same thing when we go to class and we go to school. Once you pass a grade, you don't have to repeat the grade unless you really want to, but who wants to do that? Nobody, right? So whatever this fear is, what did it teach you? Allow yourself to, some people don't even ask. I've asked those hard questions and it took me a while to even get to that point, to dive deep enough to ask, what did this teach me? And I pull every fucking lesson I possibly can out that shit. I do. And the reason I do that is just so I not only grab the lessons that it was intended to teach me, but any others on top of that. So to me, it's like extra credit, right? So if you treat it like that, right, take that wisdom and knowledge and build upon it, right? The way she's standing on these books, okay, this is all your experiences. This is all the knowledge and the wisdom you've gained from all the shit you've gone through. So stand on that. Stand 10 toes down. These are my experiences and this is what it taught me. And how can I use that to elevate me? How can I use that to take me up higher? To elevate me up the ladder without crushing other people, right? How do I take that wisdom and knowledge and let it build me, right? Some of you, this is definitely possible, but it's a matter of you believing in yourself. Trusting the guidance and receiving to do that. So let's see. Spirit, what's the potential opportunity? What's the opportunity that may be presenting itself to Taurus in the next 72? We saw 808. Checking the time, make sure we're making decent time. I don't want to keep y'all too long, you know. Flowers, be generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. Okay? This is exactly what this is giving me. This cup here is that emotional fulfillment. This blessings is a success. Okay? So I feel like for some of you, this is a repetitive, confirmation message where, you're going to be successful. Some of you are destined to be successful, but it's a matter of you, fearing what you can't see. You have to believe it before you see it. That's how it works. We're taught otherwise, and that was on purpose. We're conditioned to think, I got to see it first, then I'll believe it. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. You have to push past your fear and imagine what you want to see happen. That is how you bring it to fruition. That is how you actually call it in to your experience from the ethers and pull that shit down, right? That is how law of attraction really works. So once you learn how to do that, that's when, you start opening up doors and things start to really shift and change. Let's get one more. Beware. Be careful who you trust at this time, okay? So I feel like this is talking about if you have a dream, okay, or you have an idea, Taurus, don't tell anybody about it until it manifests. Until it manifests. Don't tell anybody about it. I feel like because for some of you, if you already have a fear surrounding something you're trying to bring into your experience, and then you share it with someone that encourages that fear, meaning they increase it by saying, hell no, that's way out there. What the fuck? Hell no. Because they don't see it, they don't want you to see it. Because they can't imagine it, because it's too big of a, like a seemingly far outreach, too long of a jump, right? Too high of a climb for them. They want you to feel the same way. And so if you're already fearful about whatever this is that you're wanting to do or free yourself from, some of you have talents that's just waiting to be expressed. Some of you've been caging yourself in, okay? Some of you've been doing this to yourself out of fear. We need to let that fear go. For some of you, like I said, if this is, no matter what this is about what that you're trying to free yourself from, don't tell nobody till it's done. Don't share the idea. All you need to do is move in silence. Make your moves, do your research, make the plan, you know what I'm saying? And trust what you're being guided to do. Because again, you have the free will, the choice to decide. It's a matter of you harnessing that power though, and, learning what your past experiences have taught you, taking those into account and using that wisdom to push you through these fears, but also propel you towards whatever this idea is, or this, passion, or whatever this is that you're wanting to go towards. Okay. Some of you that, you really want to free yourself from a situation knowing you'll be happier, but your fear is creating resistance. Your fear is holding you back. So I feel like to help you with that, keep it to yourself and just keep doing the research. Keep, if you can visualize, do your best to visualize. See yourself already living the life that, that you see. If it's a business, and visualize what it would be like if I, had this, if I started it, even if it's at the basic level, just deciding, okay, I quit my job today and, and I'm taking a leap on myself. I'm taking a bet on myself. I'm betting on myself in this way. What would that feel like? Just, start little steps if you have to. Just start where you can. If it's too much to think, long-term of big success and, a whole bunch of employees and all that, then don't start that far, right? But start where you can. Just, start. Okay? So let's clarify, Spirit. What is fear and imagination here? Why is that here for Taurus? 972. Why is that here for Taurus? Some of you, this is about, some of you are in a marriage that you're not happy in. Some of you are with someone, or maybe this could be a mother of your child, okay, that you're not happy with. Okay, some of you, this could be a mother figure, living with maybe a parent or something, or like I said, for some of you, this has to do with a relationship. Someone that you maybe have kids with or simply married to that we're not happy anymore. Some of you, you're needing to free yourself from that situation, but you're scared. Okay, and we have Fool after that. Some of you, you want to take a leap, but it's I feel like there's maybe a lot riding on it. Okay, or there maybe it just feels like a lot, like it's like a burden to think about, starting over for some of you. But I feel like you're going to be happy doing it. You need to move on, because otherwise I feel like some of you are going to regret staying. Five of Cups speaks about crying over spilt milk, but it also speaks of regrets, sadness, loss, which, anytime we leave something that we've been involved in, or when it comes to like family and kids and shit like that, of course it's not easy, but at the same time, we live every day, but you only die once. So it's like, make the most of, your days living, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like some of you imagine a different life for yourself. And that's what a lot of us are coming to see. A lot of people, that's why a lot of marriages are ending, because people are starting to wake up to realize that this person wasn't my person to begin with, or maybe they were, but they're not anymore, and that's okay. I've outgrown this situation. I've outgrown this connection. I've outgrown this job. That's why when I left the hospital, that was, I had outgrown that environment, so it was time for me to take that leap on myself, bet on myself in that way. I was scared, but I did it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thriving. That was something I had to, take that chance on myself and leap into. So let's clarify freedom, Spirit. Why is that here for Taurus? King of Swords in reverse. Okay. So for some of you, this is like, somebody could be really controlling, manipulative, that maybe you're needing to free yourself from, okay? This could be, like I said, a wife. This could be a spouse, someone that you're not happy with, okay? Or a situation you're not happy in that you need to get out of, but maybe it's maybe just kind of like, because of the history, it makes it difficult. But for others of you, this is, you don't maybe really have a clear path. You don't really know where you want to go. So if that's, for some of you, that could be where this fear is coming from, because you don't maybe really have a clear yet, a logical, clear understanding or idea of where it is you're trying to go, or what it is you're trying to do, right? So for some of you, your fear will disappear when you do a little bit better by preparing yourself. Stress and fear typically really only come from a lack of preparation. We only get stressed out when we weren't prepared for something that takes place. So if you do your best to prepare by, i.e., getting the idea, taking the time to really think about, what do I want? What would make me happy right now, right? How would I, if I did this, what would I do afterwards? What could potentially be on the other side of, me freeing myself from the situation? If I was free from the situation, if I did quit my job, whatever the situation is, if I was free from it tomorrow, what would I do? What would I do with the extra time that I would have? What would I do with the extra money I would have? The emotional lightness that I would have? What would I do with that? Start there. Some of you, it's like, you need to free yourself from something, and you're scared because you don't even know where you want to go. Some of you, that will be a good first step, is getting some clarity, using your logic, not your emotions, but using your logic, right? And your wisdom. Some of you are kind of like doubting yourself. You don't think you're as smart as you are. You don't think your idea would work. You don't think people really fuck with it. But for some of you, that's, again, your fear talking to you, right? When we make decisions from that place, of course it won't work. So, Spirit, clarify the King of Swords in reverse. What is it? Ten of Pentacles. So, yeah, for some of you, it's like, I feel like this has to do with family, I feel like it's like someone could be very controlling, very manipulative, okay? But I feel like it's hard for some of you to free yourself because of maybe the money, the family, that's tied to whatever this environment is. For some of you, like, you're like the breadwinner, or you're like, this is your legacy here, okay? And so I get it. I can totally understand and imagine why that would be, where the fear would come from in that, right? But at the same time, we weren't brought here to be complacent. We weren't brought here to just be basic, right? Unless that's what you believe for yourself, and that's, your own perception, right? But, I feel like some of you are really being asked at this time to really use your imagination to, help you, to really ask yourself the important questions, like, do I really need to stay where I'm not happy? Do I really need to stay in a situation that I clearly don't belong in, that I've clearly outgrown, that I'm no longer wanting to be in? Like, if you put yourself, you have to understand that any situation we find ourselves in, because we are the co-creator of our reality, you've essentially put yourself there. And the power in that is realizing if you put yourself there, you can also contrarily get yourself out. It's just a matter of your, again, perception, how you choose to see the situation. If you choose to, doubt yourself and be blinded by by your circumstances or what other people around you have to say, then of course you're not going to see the solution, right? But I feel like some of you, you're letting your fear get the best of you right now, okay? We need to not do that. But that's where the power, again, lies, is if you can identify that that's what's happening, that is the first step to getting yourself, out of that, and start seeking and attracting solutions versus more reasons to be scared to make a decision that you need to make, right? So let's see. Spirit, clarify the opportunity here for Taurus. Next 72 hours. Opportunity. Six of Pentacles. So this is about giving and receiving, something being equal, being equally reciprocated, okay? For some of you, this is maybe you're scared to leave a relationship, and the opportunity that may be lying here is that someone else feels the same way. Okay, someone else may be thinking the same thing you're thinking, but you don't know because you're scared, right? For others of you, though, this is about, I don't know that I'll have the help that I need. This is Spirit saying there's an opportunity here for you to have exactly what you need, but you have to be willing to ask. This is about giving and receiving. Whatever you put out comes back. So if you ask for the help, ask, even if it's not a physical person, by just talking to, Spirit, talking to your guides, your ancestors, whoever it is that you communicate with in the ethers, simply asking them. They're not allowed to infringe upon your free will without your permission. So, in knowing that, you have to ask for their guidance. Please help me. Please send me solutions. Please help me see solutions clearly. Please help me, eradicate the fear that I feel in wanting to pursue my happiness out of, fear of how other people would be affected, right? So if you do things and respond, to your circumstances from that place of, I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but I do value what I need at this time, what I want at this time. And some of you are just at that point where you're just like, I can no longer pretend that I'm happy where I'm at, right? So I feel like, again, the opportunity here is for you to ask and you shall receive, by you getting the help that you need, by you putting, the request out into the universe, you getting a solution in return. That is what this energy is about, giving and receiving, right? See how he's dropping into the hand and the hand is receiving? So this is the energy you put out and the energy you get back in equal reciprocity. That's why the sixes. That's why it's a 6, 3 and 3, right? However you decide to depict that, it's equal. That's equal reciprocity. So for some of you, there's an opportunity here for you to get exactly what you asked for, by setting out the request and getting exactly what you asked for in return. It's the same thing when you order, let's say, a package on Amazon, right? And you go through and you're reading the reviews and you decide, okay, I want this one, right? You put in that request and you chill because you know, right? You trust that you'll get your package in whatever time frame they say, and you know, and you don't have to worry about it. That's you putting your will and trust into the universe, right? You making that decision, your free will to put out your request and trust that what comes back to you is exactly what you wanted. That is simple manifestation. That is manifestation basics, okay, at its finest. So, let's see. Spirit, clarify the Six of Pentacles. Why is it Taurus 72? But it's like you don't know if you don't try. For some of you, this could just be simply talking about, you know, setting an intention to receive, you know, to not be scared, right? And then you receiving a solution that will help you calm the fear down. That could be simply what that is, right? So, Emperor. So there's an opportunity here for success, for you to maybe get the money you need. For some of you, this is about maybe I want to start a business, but I don't have the money to do it. So some of you, this is about maybe applying for a loan and receiving it. Some of you, this is about making a phone call and receiving, you know, someone wanting to invest, someone who has the money to help you. Okay, for some of you, that is simply what this is, but you have to be willing to put yourself out there in that way, right? Put yourself out there by asking and then allowing, right, for that to come to you. This is also about, you know, there's an opportunity. Say if this isn't even an opportunity that's coming up necessarily in the next 72, for some of you, this is about when you decide and make the decision to step into your free will and decide, I'm going to do this, Spirit. I'm putting out my intention that if I quit my job tomorrow, that you will, you know, help me, you know, start my business and help me thrive where I don't miss a beat, right? And for some of you, by you trusting the universe in that way, that is exactly what the fuck happens. Where you get the help you need and you're sitting pretty. Successful, okay? I'm not saying that, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying success like, you know, it just happens overnight, but what I am saying, it is very, because energy is fluid, when you're aligned, timing don't fucking matter. It can happen just like that, right? But it's about alignment. So how aligned are you to what it is that you want? How ready are you for what it is that you want, right? But this is still just an opportunity, just letting you know that no matter what you're fearing, if you put out the request, the universe is ready to give it back to you, to hand you whatever it is you're asking for. You just have to be willing to trust it and step into your power. This is also what the Emperor energy represents here. Stepping into your power. Taking back control, deciding, I control this fucking vessel. I control this damn car. Let me put you, my fear, right, which is the ego, let me put you on the passenger seat. Let me come around and hop in the driver's seat and let's get this show on the fucking road. For some of you, that is the opportunity that's presenting itself here, is for you to, you know, put out the request and step into your power and really take, you know, use your free will and your drive and desire to use the wisdom and knowledge that you know you have and get things done. Okay, so let's get some advice. Clear, accurate messages of advice for Taurus. The moon. Okay. Let's see. Get two more advice for Taurus Spirit. Okay, so we have the moon, the Two of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. So for some of you, this is saying, Spirit is saying that this may be hidden from you right now, okay? Things may not be clear right now, but it's an illusion. For some of you, like I was talking about earlier with that imagination card, the fear that you're feeling that something won't work or that something was just going to, you know, go up in flames or something like that, for some of you, that is exactly what this is. It's your subconscious beliefs that are fucking you up right now, okay? For some of you, your advice here is, if this has to do with the relationship, some of you, you may not even know it, that someone's dealing with someone else behind the scenes anyway. And you're going to get communication about that. You're going to hear about that. You're going to know there, you know, something's going to come out about that. That's not for everyone. But for some of you, that is exactly what this is. With the sun energy in reverse, this is something that's hidden. Okay? The sun, when it's in reverse, that's like the moon. It's hiding something. So for some of you may be like contemplating on leaving a marriage or something like that where you're not happy. But for some of you, your wife or your spouse, this Empress energy, your baby mama, if you're a man watching this reading, for some of you, she's not happy either. And like I was saying, for some of you, you don't even know that. Where you're so scared that, you know, to tell this person, you know, how you feel, but not realizing that there's a high chance that they might feel the same. And it doesn't make either of you wrong. Even if that's not the case, however you feel, you're not wrong for that, okay? It's just important for you to not be scared to be honest. Don't let anybody invalidate your emotions or how you feel or your experiences, but it starts with yourself. If you invalidate your own emotions and experiences, you can't, how can you really expect someone else to validate them for you if you don't even validate them yourself, right? So, but for others of you, this is also saying that, there may be your fears, any fears you have surrounding this is an illusion, okay? Your fears are actually teaching you something, but for some of you, this is, maybe a partnership that could definitely be talking about, if this is speaking of business, or kind of like, how could I start a business on my own? For some of you, there is a partnership that's going to come in very quickly. So whatever you think you're not going to have the help with, or, whatever, that could be exactly what this is. Now, for others of you, if this is talking about a relationship or something that you're scared, well, if I leave this person, I'm going to be single again. I'm going to be single forever. For some of you, even if it's just a breakup, right? There could be a relationship or a connection, a partnership that's going to come in so fucking quickly, that's waiting to meet you, that's going to actually be equal and reciprocal, okay, for those of you where that applies and that matters, right? Where it's somebody's waiting to give you exactly what you've been asking for, okay? For some of you, you've been waiting for your divine counterpart, and that could be exactly what's presenting itself here in the next 72. But for some of you, it's like you're not ready for what you're asking for. Some of you are fearful when this presents itself, so you want to make sure that, am I really ready for what I'm asking for? Because when it presents itself, are you going to push it away? Are you going to tell the universe, I'm not ready? It's too soon. No, this must be too good to be true. I told you, timing don't fucking matter when alignment is in play. Okay? So, yeah, some of you are overthinking. You're letting your fears speak for you. Okay? If you're asking for something, just know, like, you got blessings coming. Okay? Some of you just need to be careful what you're asking for. Okay? That clarity card is exactly what that card speaks of. Being careful what you wish for. Make sure that it's what you want, because some of you are going to get it. It just may be hiding from you right now. Okay? But your fear maybe was kind of keeping it at bay. So just know that once you eradicate these fears that maybe you have surrounding the connection, or surrounding, when am I going to find my person? When am I going to find my match? Right? It's waiting for you, and it's going to come in quickly. But some of you, there's a little bit of shadow work that needs to be done. There's some fears that we need to release. There's some subconscious beliefs that we need to first eradicate to allow this in. Okay? So I feel like Spirit's advice here is saying, once you reveal what needs to be hidden, meaning by going underneath the surface, meaning tapping into that shadow, right? The shadow, that is what the moon represents, our shadow. That is why I'm wearing black lipstick, because it's the moon day. Mondays are moon days. It's the day of the moon. This also represents Goddess Lilith. So if you have shadow work and you want to, work on your shadow work, Goddess Lilith is a beautiful deity to work with to help you with your shadow work, right? So for those of you where that applies, some of you, this is about doing your shadow work, surrounding the fears that you have, why they're there, where they came from. Are they even yours? Is it really from your experiences, or was it from someone else's experience that was projected onto you at a young age? Identifying where your fear even came from. For some of you, it's like once you identify that, it comes in right away. It comes in so fast. But for others of you, this could just be simply a partnership surrounding business. If that's what this is. Okay?